Hey, you guys, you ever wondered how to make goat cheese? Well, we're going to do it in the kitchen. Might not be something you're going to try all the time, but one of those days when you have time on your hands and you have some goat's milk, you might try this. It's super easy. It just takes time and a little bit of knowledge, and I'm going to give you that right here. So stay tuned. Click subscribe if you're not already doing that. Ring that bell. Give me a thumbs up, and I will see you back soon. Okay, here I've taken the milk. I added it in. You can see the temperature is about 89 degrees, which is right where we want it to be. Whoops. Let me take that out now. And the milk is basically been warmed to 89 degrees. Our temperature needs to be between 86 and 89 for this particular cheese because it's going to be a fresh chev. For fresh cheese, that's the natural temperature of the goat's stomach. So at this point, we're going to add in some calcium. So here I have some calcium chloride, and we add in calcium chloride because calcium chloride basically is when you pasteurize the cheese, the calcium, you lose calcium, so you have to add it back in if you're using pasteurized cheese. If you're using raw milk cheese, you wouldn't have to do that. So we're going to put 4 drops for a half gallon here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 drops of calcium. So the calcium, what that does is it helps the cheese to coagulate, which we want it to firm up, right, and become like thicker, and that way we're going to have nice curds to cut later and make our cheese. Okay, so next thing we're going to add is this culture. So this is a mesophilic culture. Okay, so you can see on this is a tiny bit of this culture that we need. Okay, that goes in here. I'm going to stir it around in here. Let it blend in. That's cheese culture. That's the bacteria that helps to determine the type of cheese that we're making. Okay, and we're making a fresh goat cheese. This isn't going to be aged, so we put in a little bit less of that. And these are for this mesophilic culture is for cheeses that are made at lower temperatures, at under 104 degrees. So this cheese, you can see that we did at 189, 190 at the tops, and so that's the kind of culture that we use for this. And you can buy these cultures online if you want to make those and keep them in the freezer. Now, you can let this sit now for a little bit and let the calcium and the culture develop a little bit, but you don't have to do that. You can go straight into adding the rennet only because this is a fresh version of this cheese. We're not going to age this over a period of time. The rennet could slow down the process of the coagulation. In the process of this, it makes the whole thing coagulate slower, but we're going to coagulate this cheese overnight anyway, so we have plenty of time. So the rennet, this is our rennet, and that comes from the stomach lining of the animal, and we're just going to put just 2 drops. 1, 2. Okay, 2 drops. We're going to stir that in. Okay, and now we're done. So with this, I'm going to take my lid here and put it on top. Now I let this sit in a warm place outside of the refrigerator, and we're going to take a look at this tomorrow. So we'll see you back tomorrow morning. Hey guys, I'm back in the kitchen next day with the goat cheese that I made, and you can see here the goat cheese is really separated. We have almost like a water on the top. I'm going to pour some of that off so I can even see it, but you can see the texture, right? See how it's kind of formed like this? So to allow more of that water and that what they call the whey to release is we're going to cut that. So I'm going to show you here really quick how we cut that. I go cut it one way like this, and then we're going to cut it this way like this. So it looks almost like yogurt, right? And when you do that and you take it and you turn it like this, Now we don't want to break the curds up too much. The more you break up the curds, the more that you would do that for like a longer cheese, a cheese that's been sitting for a long time, and a cheese that's been dried and aged for a long time. So if you leave them bigger, that's where you make your brie and your softer cheeses. So I'm going to show you guys how to strain these in a second. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the cut curds like I have here, and I just want to spoon them into my molds. And what we're going to do is the weight of this, the weight of the cheese curds on there are going to press out any of the water that's in there. And the water, as it separates, it leaves basically our curd mold. And then that mold over time is going to get more dense and dense and dense until a lot of the water has leaked out. And at that point, we're going to flip them. So I'm going to fill these all the way up, and then we're going to let this sit for like an hour and drain, and then we're going to flip them, and I'll show you that later. Thanks. Okay, right here, I've got these have sat for a while, and you can see how they're starting to compress, right? So I'm just going to take them out and like set them here for a second, and then I'll just dump that whey, that's called the whey, and I'll dump that into here. And then from that, we're going to flip these. I'll show you how we do that. Okay, now what we do is we just take another container here and we flip this upside down like this, and that's it. And you can see what that looks like, right? So all we're going to do is flip these, and we're going to flip them 3 or 4 times till they're really firm, and then we're going to put them in the fridge and we're ready to salt them. So I'm going to salt them a little bit now so they'll have some more of the liquid come off of them. All right, so I've got here, you guys can see the cheese, and it's still got a lot of juice in here. So I'm going to dump that juice out, okay? And what I want to do at this point is flop these over. So you can see that in here, they're kind of compressing now, and they're losing a lot of their water. And then we're just going to, and they're sticking. You see how it sticks in there? That's what I want it to do. Now it's going to fall perfectly in there. Now you guys can see what that looks like. You see how that fell perfectly in there? And now this is going to mold. You can see it's getting drier around the edges. That's exactly what I do. We're going to let it sit here. I'm going to put this in the fridge now, and then we're going to keep flipping them like this for 3 or 4 more times, and I'm going to show you what it looks like at the end of the product. So be back soon. Hey guys, okay, welcome back. It's the next day. I've been flipping this goat cheese through the course of the night. You know, every hour, 2 hours, whenever you go by your fridge, you just flip it, and it just helps to form it better. If it's more or less, it doesn't matter. You should flip it at least 3 or 4 times though in the course of the day. So we made the milk one day, we let it sit overnight and coagulate that night. The next day we've been flipping it back and forth and dumping out the whey. Now you can see here in my pan how there's very little water left. So there's very little whey that's coming off this cheese, which means it's drying out and it's firming into this like nice creamy cheese. And that's what we're looking for. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and release it. And you can see our cheese is nicely molded. Now, this is a soft cheese, you know. Now this pink on here, that's my pink salt. You can see I have some pink sea salt here. And during that course, the process of flipping it, I always season the outside a little, and that'll in addition help the cheese to kind of lose more of its liquid, and that's what we're looking to do. So at this point, this type of cheese you can eat fresh. You want to eat this fresh. This isn't the type that we would age for a month or 2, and then you need a special cabinet or a special refrigerator at the right temperature, right humidity to keep and age that cheese. So you're not going to want to do that at home. But this style cheese, you can see it takes time to make, but you could make this and then have it at a party for Easter or something, and people will be pretty excited that you made your own goat cheese. So you could try it. So with this, to finish this, I'm just going to drizzle the top with some nice olive oil. Right, I use some really good extra virgin olive oil. I'll put some more salt on it because I don't heavily salt it in the beginning. And then I'm going to put some cracked pepper, right, like this. And you can even put more oil on the plate too. That way they can smear it around when they're eating it. And then I have chopped parsley, but you know, you could use chopped basil, whatever you'd like. And it's really nice like this. So from here, I'm just going to take it And I'm gonna cut like a little wedge of this out. And you can see how beautifully formed that cheese is. So it's really nice, creamy goat cheese. Well, let's see if it's any good. Wow. That's pretty nice. So, super easy to do. Homemade goat cheese. How simple was that? You guys should try it. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up, click that subscribe, and ring that bell, and I'll have more stuff like this in the future. I'm Chef D Max. I'll see you back soon.